All right. Okay, cool. Back to Tino, and uh, I feel like I did cut you off with the last one. Was there anything else you wanted to say about people too, or anything we missed? Oops.
Song that I needed to make, and it was a song that I was nervous about making, which ultimately meant that it needed to be made. So sometimes if it's easy to make and it has no if you're not concerned about how it will be perceived, not as if people are going to like it or not, but how is it accomplishing the mission that you set it out for it to do? Is it going to uh bring ears that maybe would not have heard, like even just the first verse about uh women. I think men don't even a lot of men don't even consider the fact that the person who works next to them may be making 20% less than they make at a job. And
Yeah.
they're doing the same exact job that they're doing. So like even if that just raises some awareness in that aspect, then it's coming from somebody who would be a beneficiary of said thing,
Uh-huh.
then maybe it is a point that we should be addressing.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I think what you just described, like whatever your discipline is, like making what you feel like you have to make, even though it might not be the easiest thing, or usually isn't, if it's something that's really in your heart. I think you just described like the difference between like an artist and an entertainer, at least, that's a
That I think that would definitely that's a very good definition of the two differences.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Mm.
I grew up in a like I was like we mentioned a little bit before. I grew up in a very uh, super religious family,
Oh yeah.
Christian, apostolic, and so like just the idea like they were I don't want to call them anti-gay, but they
Mhm.
were being gay as a sin and you're going to hell for it.
Yeah.
So like to even be able to like write a song about trans people or write a verse about trans people, like I was like, oh, I wonder, like my mom is going to probably hear this at some point, and but also she should hear it because the mission that the person that she's preaching about is a person whose whole thing was love, and these people just want to be loved and accepted, and that's all that you need to do. Is you don't have we ourselves. I think a lot of oftentimes, and my grandfather, who was super religious all the time, he never even. I don't think he ever thought about it, but he used to say, "I have there. People don't have a heaven or hell to put you in. That's not up to that. None of that. If you believe in any of that stuff, it's not up to the person, the people that are around them, to judge them. Like that's between the person and their maker,
Hmm.
whoever
Hmm.
that might be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
you all you have to do is accept the person and love a person because
Hmm.
that what is it, love thy neighbor. Like if thy neighbor is
Hmm.
a trans woman or a trans man, then it's still love thy neighbor. So
Right. Yeah. And it's
if you're
also
if you're preaching if you're doing what you say that you're doing, which
uh
is being a practitioner of the gospel, and that is what you should be doing.
yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of these. I mean, live and let live. I mean,
Golden rule.
golden
Do unto
rule.
others as you'd have them do unto you.
Yeah, yeah, there we go. That's the next one I was going to mention. It's so right. Doesn't seem so elementary, and then yet we get so caught up in muddying what is at the end of the day, kind of a simple philosophy, and um, it's yeah, yeah, it is sort of gratifying that, there's been a lot of, I mean, I guess it depends on how you want to look at history, but like, I mean, even when Obama ran, I think when he got elected, he was anti-gay marriage, pro civil union, but anti-gay marriage. So, I mean, like less than 20 years, for that to become gay marriage to be accepted is kind of remarkable. And from a certain point of view, but what's happening with the transgender, the demonizing, because it's such a small population, it's just so sickening and so anti-Christian. Um,
Yeah, I went to the Gym City Action held their Trans Visibility Day on Sunday,
Huh.
and I went to that, and it's just like they literally are just trying to get people to accept them as human beings. Like
Yeah.
it's not even, and that's the hard part. It's like at, at points in history, other groups had to just try and get people to accept them as human beings, like not three-fifths of a person, as a whole human being. And it was like just let like what is it got what is it how does it affect you on your day to day if somebody was born a woman but has feelings in themselves that they should have been a man. Like, and they do the things that make them mentally feel better about themselves. Like, I mean, it's no different than augmenting one's own breasts or getting a BBL or liposuction. Like these are the things that these are not natural things that you had, but
Right.
you're augmenting yourself in a way that makes you feel better about yourself. So
Yeah.
like, are you messing with God's creation when you do those things any different than if you go about it in another way? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
but
and at the end of the day, doesn't it benefit everybody to have more happy individuals in society? Just like you think of all the ramifications that can happen if somebody's disgruntled or feeling alienated or isolated.
ostracized or yeah,
Yeah,
like yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's definitely because then that's when you have people who have either they take their own lives or they do other things to harm others because they don't have that happiness. They don't feel connection. They don't feel accepted.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. I was thinking recently of that movie Boys Don't, I think it was called Boys Don't Cry with Hilary Swank. And that came out like what, 30 years ago probably now or something. I don't know if you remember that one. It was like one of her first roles, but she she dressed like a I think she was in high school. It was a high school character. So she dressed as a boy, but she was I guess born as a girl, and it was a true story. I think how she got killed by a bunch of intolerant people. But
Mm.
now I'm really digressing. Quick question on what you just said. So after that event, like last night, do you then go home and write about it? Like, do you get inspired by those sort of situations that you kind of want to put pen to paper, so to speak, like immediately, or do you lay down tracks, do you record right away, or do you kind of let it gestate for a while?
I think, well, with that particular event, that one was Sunday, and I was planning on releasing the record on Tuesday, and it just kind of like assured me that this is the right thing to do, and
Cool.
it was the correct thing to add the third verse back and finish that, and to just to show people that hey, you were seen as much as a cis male can see and acknowledge your plight. And put it into an artistic form. I mean, that's important because I mean, Bob Dylan, Joan Baez, uh, Bob Marley, all Public Enemy, all these people have like taken the times and articulated them in a way that people get disseminated in a much easier form. It's a lot easier than sending an article to somebody about something. You can send them a song and then they can relate to that in a way that it may be a little bit easier to digest than it is to just read about it in print.
Yeah, yeah, very true. Yeah, I mean, like the alienation, or just the
Well,
alienation or separateness that David Bowie felt, was relatable in some different ways, even though he also had the fantasy and cosmic stuff. There's a quote that you have accompanying the song on your Bandcamp page, and I it's a quote that I've heard different versions of, but I'm not sure if the one that you have is your um,
it's
is,
my take on the one that is some often attributed to RFK or JFK Jr., but it's not the he was not the originator. I kind of like did a research on it a little bit to like make sure I wasn't misquoting the person, but then I was like, let me just flip it into a way that I can say it and then say I've heard it said because it's going around. It's just that uh pretty much the evil prevails when good men or good people do nothing and
Right.
just sit by idly. So,
That's right.
uh,
Yeah. Yeah. And I've heard a variation on it recently, which is that the strongest weapon a dictator has is to make people feel isolated because once they're able to do that, they can compartmentalize people in such a way that they can't mobilize or organize or even communicate or find joy in life. They become completely oppressed. And so, along those lines, I'm curious if there was a point in your career where you let me rephrase that. What this thing keeps going off. What was the point in the last, I don't know, God, 10 years maybe now or whatever, where you felt like you had to really, I don't want to say take a stand because it seems like you'd been doing that your whole career, but like really step it up a notch. Like I had kind of I don't want to say a crisis point, but I felt like I had to really make a decision. Like when Trump got reelected, if like I'm going to put myself out there, and just a fucking average white guy, got it easy, but like, um, you know, still just the idea of mass surveillance now and then anything you put online is going to be there, can be located by FBI. And if you're a dissenter, you could be sent to a gulag too. Was there an incident or a point in your the recent stage of your career where you really felt like, okay, I got to step up and do something here?
I want to say kind of I wrote a song called Government, and that was in I want to say it came out in 2019 on a project called Past Due, an EP I had called Past Due. And then before that in 2017 I had a song called Black Friday. But I feel like it really started impacting me more when it was during the pandemic and after George Floyd, and they were having like stuff going on as far as marches and riots a little bit, um, especially up in Columbus area, and just to like see the way that they were treating protesters, and just thinking about my sister. I don't have a child, but my sister has a niece, and at that time, my niece would have been around, I want to say 9 years old, and it was really impacting me in a way that it had not. Like I don't. I mean, for myself, you kind of get, it's bad when you get numb. The worst part is when you get numb to the trauma. Like when you see it and it's just like I feel bad because a lot of kids have to witness, like we got the body cam videos, you got all you witnessing people's death in real time often. You know, this gentleman who got shot in Minnesota, like people got multiple camera angles and everybody's dissecting whether it was a gun that fell out or who picked up what gun. And it's like, but at the same time, you're witnessing a person lose his life. And that's like, we shouldn't be as used to that as we are anymore. And I just like just thinking about the world that she has to grow up in. That's when it really like kind of like clicked for me that maybe we should be trying to do more to improve the state of this world as best as one person can. And that's where people, I think, get dissuaded is when they think that what can one person do against it all? And that's again, like you said, but isolation, like when you feel like there's nothing you can do, then you're already that's perfect for a dictator or authoritarian. It's because now you feel like it's easier to subjugate you. But the little acts of rebellion, like
Mhm.
just showing love to somebody that
Mhm.
that doesn't even know you is enough, like, because that could change how they feel about themselves in this world. Like, okay, this person cares about me, even if they've never met me, and they can understand a little bit about the plight. They'll never understand 100% because they'll never be in your shoes, but they see me as an individual, as a person, and that may be enough to spur on. Like with my music, I may never get a Grammy, but maybe somebody who heard a song was inspired by this song or listened to some music that I made, and that was the catalyst for them, and they go on to get a Grammy. That's the same way that you have to treat taking care of one another. It's like
Mhm.
I made this music. I hope that the music helps you throughout your day. I hope that it impacts you in some way that's meaningful. And if it does, then maybe you go on to impact somebody in a meaningful way. And that's how topple dominoes. Yeah, one domino by itself does nothing alone. It just falls over and that's it. You get one click. But if you set it up in a oh God, the name of that machine is eluding me. It's like a Gruber machine, like the
Oh,
machine,
oh,
the perpetual motion style
perpetual
machine.
motion machine.
Yeah, like where you got dominoes and they knock over a marble and the marble goes down a
Oh,
tube
oh,
and
oh,
breaks the
God.
marble.
Oh, I was it's the Pee Wee Herman thing, and it's
Kind of thing, yeah.
ah shit.
It's like a Gruber. I want to say his name is Gruber or something. I can't think of his first name.
I know what you're talking about. I had the name of the tip of my tongue.
I think it's
Rube Ginsburg machine?
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
uh,
Rube Goldberg.
Goldberg. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rube.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. We got there. One of those. So you
Yeah.
just being if you don't show up as one of those dominoes to make that connection to the next domino, then you're letting all the other dominoes that came before you down and letting all the dominoes that would have been there in front of you down. So just being able to be a catalyst or a part of that reaction
Yeah,
is what you need to be. And yeah, it may seem like, oh, I'm just one piece, but one piece is can be all that it takes to topple a machine.
totally. Yeah. I was brought up in school to maybe it was college where um it was a class I was taking, where the lesson was on MLK, and I remember the teacher saying that, it's so important that we show as much reverence as possible to his memory and what he did, but you cannot forget that beneath him he had a huge support system of people who do that. And then the other thing you mentioned too is like Alex Preddy. I mean, from all we know, I think he was by himself out in the street. He just felt compelled as like someone with a with a sense of morality, and maybe it was because he was a VA nurse, but he felt it was his. It seems like he felt like it was his obligation as a citizen, civic duty, to just go out there and help that woman who fell.
Yeah,
And look how much his actions, tragic as his outcome was, how much that changed really everything. I mean, you could
it's a
even,
ripple. It's a
yeah,
ripple.
I mean, you could even argue that, the domino falling, the Rube Goldberg machine of his passing, sorry, resulted in like Christine Nome and Greg Bovino getting
Yeah, losing their jobs because of yeah, they need scapegoats to get people out of there, and nobody wants to be the one left holding the bag.
yeah, yeah. Um, okay, so just a couple more things I did want to, I don't know how much time we have. Um, uh, I wanted to ask you, first of all, what are your next plans for releasing music, and what are you working on right now?
Currently, I am I'm working with a band. We're going to be called Creatures in Clouds. That's a member of Poppy, he was former drummer of Hawthorne Heights, and my friend David, who's a member of this band called Abertooth Lincoln, and they do like prog. Uh, they do prog metal like Abertooth is. So it's like but he's like so good. He can do like D'Angelo style. He's a keyboardist, so
Ooh,
it's gonna be weird, but we're looking forward to debuting that soon. And then I'm just putting stuff out because last year I kind of sat on my hands, and this year I just want to put things out. So I got a couple projects coming. Hopefully, a follow up to my emo sad boy project, Midwest Sorrow. I have Midwest Sorrow 2 later this year, and then I'm putting out a project called They Gotta Face It later on too in the summer. So.
okay, cool. Are you signed to a label? Are you independent or?
I'm an independent artist. I do like I've put stuff out through Stereo Funk, which was with DJ Martin Deezer, and I've done a release on Sofa Burn, which is a smaller independent label. in Kentucky. But other than that, I'm just a self-releasing guy
Yeah.
who has at least a decent enough fan base that it doesn't cost me everything to put these things out on my own anymore. And I'm able to do vinyl and stuff like that. So.
How often do you perform live?
Uh, in a given year, probably 25 times in a given year.
Uh-huh.
It just depends on the year though, because sometimes I'll have something set up. I might go out with Blueprint, a friend of mine from Columbus, Ohio, and I've done gone on some tour stops with him in Ohio when he does the Ohio region and stuff like that. So it just depends on the year. But I probably play about 20. I try to play less these days than I had played prior. But yeah, prior to the pandemic, I probably was playing 30 to 40 shows a year, if
Uh-huh.
not more. But now I try to stay around 20.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess my last question for you is, what gives you hope? Sometimes I ask people like, where do they think everything's going? But, you know, hypothetical questions are always kind of, they're not, they don't always have the highest value in terms of learning something because you don't really know what's going to happen. But I mean, um, what gives you hope? Is it knowing that the art that you're making is out there to be heard by anybody who wants to access it? Is it are you seeing fracturing in the mega base or like, take it where you will. I'm just
I,
curious.
I think what gives me hope is how uh, scared it seems the other side is
Ah,
um, of people being able to make changes to what their power looks like right now. It's the ID stuff that they're trying to institute,
yeah,
or the name changes with women that they're trying to institute, and the different gerrymandering things that they're trying to implement. Like you wouldn't be going through all those extremes if you didn't feel like you weren't going to lose the reins of power. So those kind of things give me hope, and in a sense that like okay, they can kind of sense that there's a shift coming
yeah,
because nothing that they've done, none of the things that they've promised have actually come to fruition because the stock market not doing very well right now. The gas price is super high. I know all of the groceries are still
What's that?
super expensive.
I've never heard that word. Is that a foreign word? How do you
Yeah,
spell
groceries.
it?
I've never heard of these. I've never had to get any for myself. Well, you got a guy who's never had to get groceries in charge of people's day-to-day lives. That's kind of scary.
The first time he texted it, he spelled it Grosser. He did that.
Groceries. I heard they're tremendous. I've heard
We get the best groceries.
we've we've got the best GMOs. We've got the best.
Yeah, I get
Yeah,
it.
that's one of those crazy things. I didn't know real strawberries were like this big, and versus American straw. Like Martin came over here, he was like, "What are these monster produce that you guys have here?" Like he's like, "This is not real food.
No,
Egg,
it's not.
eggplant should not be this big, sir."
It's not that far removed from like those plastic baskets of fruit at Christmas. Like
Yeah,
it's that close to being unreal like food. You know what
who cares about the nutritional value? Just make it bigger.
I mean? Right. Yeah. Uh are you scared though about the I mean he made a comment, a stray comment. Nobody, even the media can't keep up with everything he's saying every day. But I caught some brief moment where he was talking and he just said offhandedly, um, um, I can destroy this whole country if I want to. And the thing is, like a malignant narcissist, they're destroyers by nature. Like that's what they do. Are you concerned the blast radius that he might try to take everybody down with him? Like, you know.
I'm hoping that there's enough people in place as safeguards
Yeah.
that he couldn't just do that. I would hope the system is set up that if for some reason a madman got elected into office, him just getting the football, the nuclear football, and deciding that he wants to go send us all back to the Stone Age
Yeah,
doesn't allow for it. But like at the same point, you're right. Like he's like, oh, well, I'm not going to be in charge anymore. Who cares? Let's just take it all. I'm not. I'm going, but that also means he's going down with the ship. I think he would want to scrounge as much life as he could out of this place because he can't fathom a world where he does not exist. And
true.
so, therefore, I think we're primarily safe from that, even though he would have access probably to some kind of bunker that could keep him alive for probably 20 years without.
Yeah,
But I'm not to that point yet. But man, there's almost like a new existential crisis almost every day, and it's hard to like even wrap my head around it. It's like, man, really live in times where the machines Skynet came alive and or they hooked us up to the Matrix, or is this the Matrix? Like it's hard to fathom sometimes that we had all of these warnings beforehand, and yet we still continue to march forward in the way that we do. And we thought they were uh we thought they were metaphors, or we thought they were maybe satire or
right.
comedy, like idiocracy and stuff like that. But like no, it was like almost like soothsaying. So like
Yeah,
yeah,
very well put. Yeah, and like you said before, they're not seceding in the way that they wanted to, I mean, it's like, between the stock market tanking and all the other issues. I don't even know where to begin to list all the other problems that they've had. But ICE, I guess. Well, I don't know, but yeah, I guess we have to be hopeful that my point was that it seems also similarly somewhat reassuring that like AI is not turning out to be what they thought and hoped it would be. Like it seems like a pretty dissatisfying experience, and a lot of people. It seems like the majority of Americans are rejecting it, I think. But
I mean, I don't know. My family group chats, they send an AI video almost once a week, and then they don't know that it's AI. And then I'm like, hey guys, this is AI. Like, how can you tell? It's like, well, due to the laws of fluid dynamics, that could not have gone through the water in that kind of speed. Like, what are we talking about? And then, oh yeah, that old lady getting hit with a t-shirt cannon, she would not have survived and just bounced back and been mad. She was 80 years old. Her lungs are punctured right now. Like we gotta it, and I mean it only gets better and it's only helping accelerate itself. So
right,
like that's what scares me. It's like, yeah, maybe right now it's just for sending terrible memes back and forth,
right.
but in 20, 10, 15, 20 years from now, what are like I almost have a hard time believing anything already.
I
And
know.
now it's like we're just fabricating stuff for the fun of it because I have access to an app. Like,
Oh, yeah. I just love the idea that you sit down with family like, look, according to the laws of thermodynamics, there's just no way that that's playing. But the scary thing is, given another, I don't know how old you are. I'm my late 40s, but like 20, 30 years, I'm going to be duped along with the rest of the old people, man.
hey, I'm gonna be getting sucker. I'm gonna be getting sucker. They're gonna, man. By that time, they're gonna have holographic people that are just like, oh, look at that person over there, Grandpa. That's not a person. That's a hologram.
Oh, dude, can you imagine what it's going to be like for people with like Al not this is dark, but like for people with Alzheimer's or Parkinson's,
Oh,
like they're not gonna, like, oh wow, my son came to visit me again and again. But it's not your real son. Whatever.
not your son.
Oh
Has never
God.
been, but you can. Oh man, yeah, they're
Yeah.
already doing weird things. I watched a documentary where like they can have like take all of your father's or your loved ones like text messages and like Facebook posts, and then they feed it into the algorithm, and then it sends if they die, that then they have that thing send you text messages, acting like they're
Oh God.
your loved one that
Oh,
passed on,
oh man. All right.
in their
Well,
same speech tone or speak the same styling of writing.
all right. Okay. Well, Tino,
On that note,
now I'm officially nauseous. You've succeeded in making me nauseous. I'm gonna go throw up in my bathroom right now. But before I leave you, can you just tell people where to find Tino, Tino on Bandcamp? Any other plugs you wanna give?
you can find me on Bandcamp at TINO. I'll be the guy with the giant afro. Also, you can find me on itstino.com, itstino.com. That's my official website. I'm also on all of the other godforsaken social medias, Instagram, everything you can find me on the social medias is at hip hop Tino. So hip hop, the genre, and Tino, all one word.
Cool.
And I appreciate you having me on the show, Kurt.
Yeah, thank you so much. This has been just awesome.
The show, the
Yeah.
interview.
Just a quick closing remark. Any book or movie that you recommend to people when you get in conversations like these, just off the top of your head, or I don't want to hard like press you for it, but
Off of the top of the head, I would say I would probably recommend that, but I can't think of the name of that documentary now,
oh
just
yeah,
to watch that particular one. But then
oh yeah,
the other one would probably be not. See, we try to watch a documentary every Tuesday, and so like I've got tons of them documentaries that we watch, but
it's okay. Listen to Tina's music. That's the that'll be the and divert not diversion, but the artistic exploration people can do who are watching this. Yeah.
But if I recommend for anything for you to be hopeful, go watch the documentary. It's about a Japanese sushi chef, and all he has done is run a Michelin star sushi chef in a train station for like the last 50 years. And that's just like the peak of being a human being because he solely dedicated his entire life to one thing and one thing only, and he's like the best in the world in it. And I feel like people don't have that level of dedication to doing anything anymore. So it just inspires you to like want to do whatever it is you love even
Well,
more.
I think it's called Jiro Dreams of Sushi.
You know, that is it.
All right.
Zero Dreams of Sushi.
I
Check
still
it
haven't
out.
watched it yet, but now I will after your recommendation. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. I'll send you a link when this goes up and really can't thank you enough. It's just a blast.
I appreciate it, Kurt.
Yeah. All right, Tino. Be
Peace.
well. I'll see you around.